7:14 on a Friday. That can mean one thing. This week in real estate with Bob Zdora. Of course, Bob and Linda Zdora, the Z Team, Century 21 LeMac Real Estate for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good week. It's a good week for us. We
was this a $4 million week again?
No, actually, it's not that much this week. But it's where was it? It was where am I at here? 2.6 this week. That they closed.
Oh, you had Labor Day in there.
But it was, yeah, we had a holiday in there, and some of that is the people going back to school, so there wasn't as much activity. Because you got to look back about 45 days for when those homes went under contract. And even at that, getting a home under contract, you go through all the work, you get the prep work done, we do our advertising, we come out, we get the staging done, we get the word out that this house is for sale, it's priced right, and it's that's the big thing, is it's ready to be sold, that it's for sale, not for show, for people to walk through and go, yeah, okay, that's nice, but it's not worth this much money. When we put the price on there, it's with that in mind, is to sell the home. There's, people don't always like to hear the number that you give them, but when you go back and I look at these souls that are on here every week, and the ones that we've gone out on, and see where they closed at, sometimes 2 years later, from where we had told them it would have closed 2 years ago, and they would have not have had to pay the property taxes and the insurance and cut the grass all that time, and been able to move on with whatever part of their life it was they wanted to move on with, whether it was health, to go back with family, and to waste that much time and end up in the same spot that they were then. We see that. I mean, that's what we do. We sell homes. We sell houses. We sell houses, and we make them into homes for buyers. The getting the home under contract, the first step of moving towards that sale, and getting it to closing is where the real challenge. We think we have challenges trying to get them to get the contract, but the real challenges begin once the home is under contract. Getting the inspections done, getting the appraisers in there, getting all of the things that need to be done, the termite contract that needs to be done, any repairs that have to be done after the inspection, and then some loans require specific things to be done as far as inspections and as far as what they'll allow what they'll allow the property to look like. A VA loan, for example, you can't have any greenery touching the home, so you can't have like ivy. You can't have trees that overhang it all. We had one that they closed on a VA loan, and the people wanted the ivy on the house. They wouldn't approve the loan because there was ivy on the house. So the people went out there and they cut along the back of the ivy between that and the house, laid it all down on the ground, took a picture to send to the VA, the underwriters for the VA, to show that the ivy wasn't on there, and then went and had to restring it all to get it to grow back onto the house. But the initial part of getting the contract is really just the beginning. And these contracts, instead of being the legally binding documents that we like to think that they are sometimes little more than a strong suggestion. And there's been a number of homes that were supposed to be closed already that haven't. A delay is not uncommon. Multiple delays are not uncommon, which is okay if the house is empty. Not okay, but it's easier to deal with if the house is empty and you don't have the moving truck sitting outside. If you thought you were going to close it, if your contract said you were going to close today and you had Norwood out there with the moving truck and they got all your stuff in the truck, and then, oh, wait, there's a glitch on the other end, on the buyer's end with their loan, and it's not going to close for 2 more weeks. Well, what do you do? So these are the challenges that we deal with all the time, and it's very stressful for people, and understandably it's stressful for people. So, but it's something to keep in mind as you're going through the process of selling your home or buying a home. I mean, we've had buyers that have just been blindsided by things that they didn't realize they were going to have to do. And that the banks ask for some goofy thing from our perspective, and to get these deals done. And it's been kind of a challenge. And now there's more regulations that are coming in because of Dodd-Frank and because of some of these other banking things that have gone through. There's changes in Fannie and Freddie Mae, and just a litany of things. We're
more headaches you're trying to not say, right?
Yeah. And it's for everybody. I mean, obviously it is for us, because your home is obviously the most important thing to you. For us, all of our sellers, all of our buyers are the most important thing to us. So we're trying to deal with these on maybe 5, 6 houses at a time sometimes to try to get these to closure and to successful settlement, and everybody be able to leave with a smile on their face. One day we had to close yesterday. The people in their truck left yesterday morning, and we told them, well, your money will be down in Florida when you get there on, over the weekend. We hope. We're going to hopefully close the second part of it today. You just don't know how things are going to go. And it's in the days of like a 30-day close are done. I mean, they're just physically impossible to get them done now. It takes so long, and there's so much extra work that the closing companies have to go to. I was at Alley yesterday for a closing, and the girl who does some of the paperwork, she had literally like 18 inches of files on her desk. It's like, and I says, can we get this one done? Maybe I gave him the name, and I said, can we get this done next week? Well, and she started going through looking for it, and she's like, I have to get through all of these, and they're real good with that. I mean, you come in the order you go in, and you go out in the order that you came in. There ain't no jumping the line. And it's a little frustrating for people. And people don't understand how the system works, because the system is kind of in a state of flux right now. But getting it under contract and getting it moving forward, getting an agreed upon price and an agreed upon situation, it's becoming more common for people to ask for some time in the house after it closes. The sellers are asking for a little time because of that, because of the uncertainty that it's going to close on the day that has been chosen by the buyer and the seller. And there is no fault. There is no that I could say, well, it's this person's fault or it's that person's fault. It's just kind of the way the system has become. It's just a big bureaucracy of sorts, and it's frustrating, very frustrating for people, and understandably so.
So what you're trying to tell me with the paperwork,
yes,
is if I wanted to buy Leon's house and we agreed, there's not just one paper that says Leon sells his house to Dale.
Nah, there's a little more to it than that.
You think?
We've been doing this for what have we been doing? We've been doing this for a little over 10 years now, I think. And at the time, I think it was maybe 9 or 10 pages on the contracts, and now they're 12, and next year they'll probably be 13, because that's what happens with them. And the lawyers get involved. God bless the lawyers. Talk to Shakespeare about them. And they've got their thing to do, and everybody's so conscious of litigation and things, and they just get longer and longer, and then it's the more things that can get twisted in there to get interferes with the people's trying to be happy sellers and be happy buyers. And you got to remember, every real estate deal, every one is a domino, because somebody had to buy something somewhere down the line that allowed that person to sell, that allowed that person to buy, that allowed them to sell, that allowed them to buy, and they're all somewhere down the line.
So once you get done setting the dominoes and somebody triggers it, then
yeah, because even like the house that we closed yesterday, those people are going to Florida. They're going to buy a house in Florida. So if this house here didn't close, then they couldn't close down there. So those are the kind of things that you run into. So you got to kind of be prepared for delays. And like I say, we can, in writing the contracts, we can get a week maybe of time that people can stay in the home if necessary. You don't want to stay in it because you want to move on with your life as well, but you just don't know what's going to occur. There's things that come up, and little road mines and tripwires that come up in the midst of some of these. So, but that's our job, is to work it through them, explain them as best we can. We can't change them all, but we can help get through them. This week in real estate, there were 49 new listings came on, 14 parcels of land, 2 commercial properties, 33 homes came on the market, and homes came on in a range of $48,000 to $469,000. Average price coming on the market this week was $140,000. There were 27 sales this week, 5 parcels of land, 22 homes, and those 22 homes sold in a range of $17,000 to $525,000. The average sale price was $120,000. The average listed price when they came on the market was $136,000, with 203 days on market. Some of them were way over that 203 days. They just keep relisting them and take them off. But $2.6 million in residential real estate closed this week. So that's not bad. Not bad for a mountain home when you consider our size and what we cover.
$2.6 million with a holiday stuck in there.
Yeah, and like I say, you're looking back at 45 days. So the people that were here then, they were thinking about getting their kids ready for school and stuff. Yeah. So those people were already gone. Some of the adults were still here, but a lot of those, the market kind of slowed down a little bit in there. 29 properties expired, 42 had price changes. There's still 69 pending, and actually there's more than that because not a lot of them go to pending anymore. They stay active contingent until they close. There's 999 homes listed on the MLS as of yesterday evening. 493 in Mountain Home, 56 in Bull Shoals, 29 in Norfolk, 11 in Cotter. For 2014, year-to-date, we had 589 sales for $68 million. For 2015, year-to-date, we have 646 sales for $78.1 million. So,
what was that final line?
We're 10 million more this year than we were last year to date. And last year, for the whole year, I think we were like 5 million, from January to December, and this is only till December or September 10th. So there's been 361 sales this year in Mountain Home, 310 last year. So it kind of gives you an idea of where. It's been steady because some of the other markets have been broken out. I mean, the economy is getting better. Things are getting better. We can fight over whose fault it is or who should get the credit, but in reality, for the average guy and girl and young couples, life has gone on. What occurred over 14 years ago and all of the changes that our country has gone through since then, we're coming out of it. Maybe slower than we wanted to be. But we are. Life is going on. People are having family. People are retiring. People are saying, "That's enough of the big city. I'm going to get out. I'm looking for a different way of life. I'm looking for the Ozark type of living where things are a little slower, a little more stress-free, and that's a good thing."
Talk about the website real quick. People can go and get a lot of info right there.
There's a bunch of stuff on the website. There always is. My honey does a great job keeping it up and changing it. There's pictures of all of the listings on there. We have every listing for Century 21 is on that website, which is the biggest company in town. So if you're looking to cover a whole bunch of listings, that's a good way to cover them. It has area links, different activities that are going on. Like this week, Music on the Square. This is the last week for Music on the Square in Yaleville. If you've never been there, Kelly Link is the sponsor for this week. And come on by, say hi to your representative. It's a great thing to do. They have a bunch of giveaways. There's just a bunch of stuff out there for Music on the Square, and it's a great way to spend a Saturday night. Weather's going to be great. Also tomorrow, I know Leon's we have a whole presentation here for things to do tomorrow. There's Paul Bunyan at St. Peter's, so you can go there, have a little breakfast, go see Leon out at the hatchery, and if you get a chance, go to the Cruise Inn over at First Security Bank, the Northeast Banking Center across from Harps, downtown Harps. They're having a car show tomorrow from 10:30 till 3. I'm sure there'll be food because First Security is real good with that, and the guys are out there, guys and the girls, and they'll be out there. There'll be some great cars out there. They'll be parked in the back. Come on by, take a look at First Security's cruising. They do a nice job, and they do a nice job to help us with the Classic Chevy Club's cruise in coming up in October.
Phone number, location.
Phone number is 870-405-0793. Give my honey a call. She keeps the book so I don't goof it up. We're at the main office across the street from McDonald's. Generally not sitting around in there waiting for things to do. We've been busy, so it's good. Thank you.
Brings us up to news time. We'll be right back.